Just in on trade is this absolutely stunning 1971 Pontiac Le Mans Sport convertible. It's done in a beautiful orange, riding on a nice set of Cragar SS rims, 14-inch BFGs in the front, 15-inch in the back. The front bumper on the car is absolutely perfect, show quality chrome. The grille is very nice, headlights, chrome and stuff like that's all original and they're still in great shape. As we look at the grille, that's original and still in really nice shape as well. This Sport Le Mans is powered by a built 455 V8 engine, 4-barrel carburetor, looks like a Holly, or a Quadrajet. It is a Quadrajet. It's got power steering, it's got power brakes. The engine compartment's done beautifully. They went above and beyond and made it show quality under the hood with painted inner fenders and the painted at the bottom of the hood. It does have the paint code on this is 59-A with trim 264. Factory tag there. Sorry about such a windy day here. Video's probably going to be a little noisy. Engine runs very smooth, chrome valve cover or Elderbach valve covers, chrome air cleaner. As we shut the hood, the driver's side hood gap from front to back lines up beautifully on the top of the fender. Lines up nice and straight along there. The hood shuts with ease and lines up beautifully all the way around. As far as paint imperfections, it's kind of a cloudy day. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got just a tiny touch up on the top of this fender. If you look real close, you can see it. It's got just a tiny little chip right there. You can see my finger, just very, very small. And that the paint's beautiful on the hood. The paint on the lower fender is excellent. There's no blisters or anything. There is a little tiny chip right here by my end of my finger that's been touched up. Other than that, the door looks great on the passenger side, no blisters. It does have the dual sport mirrors. The chrome on the door handles are still good. It's the original, but in great shape. As far as our door gap goes, door gap looks nice. There's no blisters or anything on the bottom of the door that I can see. Lower quarter's excellent. Around the wheel well's nice. It does have a little, it's kind of muddy here today. Kind of wet and crappy, so I got a little dirt there in the bottom of the quarter, but no blisters or paint chips anywhere there. And like I said earlier, this car is a Le Mans Sport. The paint is base coat, clear coat, and has a beautiful shine. It's all been wet sanded and buffed. It's got a little wider Cragar in the back. I think they're a 10-inch wider Cragar. Other than that, the paint's really nice on it from front to back. It's got the GTO tip exhaust out the back. You can kind of see how nice this trunk lid fits. Lines up absolutely beautiful all the way around this trunk lid. There is a few paint imperfections in the car. Nothing that on the far as passenger side, just has a couple little chips that I showed you that haven't touched up. There's a paint crack on each side up here. If you're familiar with the GM body styles, you should have a seam that goes right in here. And someone, when they painted it, they just got rid of that seam. So there's a couple paint cracks right here, very small, and there's the same on the other side. The top's an excellent black top. It does have a nice black boot as well. The top has a glass back window in it. As we open the doors, the door jambs are painted just as nice as the rest of the car. You can tell when they did it, they took the fenders and stuff off because the orange paint goes all the way in behind the front fenders. The door on the passenger side, the door panel is perfect. I don't see any imperfections, and it appears to me it's the original door panel. Corner of the door is perfect. It's never had any body filler or putty. Bottom of the door is all nice. The seats are in excellent shape. There is a little bit of a tear on the cord over in the driver's side, which I'll get to. Passenger side seats excellent. Carpet's very nice. It has had the brand new kick panels put in it with the speakers. They come molded in that way. Factory Pontiac dash pad. Its original dash pad's never been changed. That's in perfect shape. The steering wheel's excellent, and the wood grain on the console and the dash gauges, all that is just, it's just impeccable. This is a super nice car. The seat backs, the chrome on the seat backs, all that stuff is in excellent shape. The back dome lights work properly. The back door panels are great. Even along the bottom here, where a lot of them all get crappy, these are excellent. There's no frailness to them. It's got the factory GM seat belts. The back seat's great. There's no ribs, tears, or imperfections. Driver's side door panels, just as nice as the passenger side. Door shuts with ease. It's a little cold this morning. It's got a little steam coming out the back. Definitely no smoke, but it does, you know, it's just a steamy morning here. As far as our rear quarter goes, there's no paint imperfections anywhere in the rear quarter on the driver's side, except for at the very top. Like I told you about, just like on the passenger side where this factory seam should have been, the paint's just cracking just a little bit there. Other than that, no blisters. Bottom of the door, bottom of the fender, everything looks great. There is some pits on the driver's side. It's original door handle. It's got some pits in there. Passenger side one looks really good, but as far as our corner of the door here, still very nice corner of the door. It looks like somebody, when they painted it, just put a little bit of seam seal right there. Bottom of the door looks great. I didn't talk about the rubbers yet. The rubbers are all new when the paint job was done. I mean, they're very, very pliable. Door panel on the driver's side is excellent. You can tell it's original just by the fading of the carpet. But there's no rips or tears anywhere or scuffs. Armrest pads are nice. Whoever buys this car, I mean, this car is just ready to jump in and drive in your next parade. I mean, it's a beautiful car. Right on this cord here is where that is just wore through. Probably should have put a little dye on that, and I will. There's a couple other things that it's missing. It needs those two little buttons right here. They're just a little knob, one on each side. It's got factory buckets, console. Paint in the door jambs is great. The horn for some reason is not working. That's on our check-in list to do. Heater fan works great. As cold as it is, we're going to leave that running. Oil pressure after it's warmed up looks to be about 23 pounds at an idle. It's running very nice and cool. It's running right at 160, right where a guy would want it. Wipers are in working condition. They park properly. It's got the factory clock. It's got 106,000 actual miles and the gas gauge works. Other than that, the factory gauges are just lights. That's why the aftermarket ones are put in here. It's also charging at 14.5 volts also. The wood grain on the steering wheel and the dash, the chrome on the dash, and the lenses and everything are just like brand new on this car. Excellent condition. It does have a Kenwood AM FM CD. It's got everything available, Bluetooth. That works properly as well. You got trying to think what Pioneers built in up here in the kick panel, and it's got some Sonys in the back door panels as well. So everything works properly except for the clock and the horn right now. I did mention it does have a quadrajet carburetor, 4-barrel. See if we can make it back to the shop before it rains here. Power steering works excellent. Brakes work nice. There's no pull left or right. I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure they're probably disc on the front. Transmission shifts great. Speedometer works accurately. There's no bouncing around anywhere in the speedometer. It's nice and needle's nice and tight. This car does have a power top as well, and that works properly. The only thing I noticed so far, and it's a cold morning here, so you know when you first punch it down, it just spits just a little bit. Probably just needs to be warmed up a little better than what I'm doing. Here's our brakes. Absolutely no pull left or right. It's got a nice full pedal with those power brakes. I've owned this car actually once before. I sold it to a gentleman, a real good customer of mine in Florida, probably 2.5, 3 years ago, and he just traded it back in. When I owned it the last time, I put about 200 miles on it. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Had it in a couple parades. You know, just drove it and enjoyed it. So I know it's a great car. Kickdown works on it. As far as the steering, it does not need alignment. It goes down the road perfectly. The only thing I'm going to do when I get it back is I'm just going to adjust that carburetor a little bit and check on that horn. Other than that, it's ready to deliver.